Good afternoon. I hope everyone's well today, or good evening now. I appreciate your time. I hope you are well. Housekeeping first, we've had another Reform UK victory, this time down in Bury St Edmunds in Suffolk. Councillor Martin Robinson. So well done, Councillor Robinson. I hope you do good things, and it's definitely better than the Uni Party. So well done there. We've had some positive movements in the right of centre politics, but also the left of centre as well, or the globalists and the native population. Is the way I see it, the patriots against the globalists. We've had Zara Sultana. She's left the Labour Party over the prescribing of the Palestine Action terrorist group for breaking into an RAF base and damaging military equipment. She's not too happy about that. She thinks they shouldn't be terrorists, but you can't have everything, I guess. And so she's left the Labour Party and she's going to join a new party that's going to be headed by Jeremy Corbyn, or at least organised by him at the moment. So that's positive for us, and it's also positive for us that Advance UK has been formed, and it's also positive that Restore Britain has been formed. And I'll get into those points in a minute or two. The important thing you need to realise is that Uni Party needs to die 0 seats for both the Tories and Labour. That is the goal, that is the aim, and that is what we need to achieve. By hook or by crook, by any means necessary, rightfully, democratically, of course. Now, my seat, Runcorn and Helsby, is a bellwether for that change. My MP unseated a Labour MP, and this is a very safe Labour seat. If this can be replicated all over the United Kingdom, then we really are onto something. We are onto a winner. The conventional wisdom is that general elections are usually won and lost in marginal seats. This is about 250 to 300 seats out of the 650 parliamentary constituencies that make up the United Kingdom's democratic unit. Those are the seats that most of the parties put their funding into and target because they think that they can unseat the previous MP. This is why my area and the other safe seats for Labour and Tories never get anything, never get any funding, and never get a sniff of anything that we actually need in our local areas, because all of the money is dedicated to winning elections. The elections are there to make sure the politicians get in, when really elections are meant to be to serve the people that put you into power. And that's just my opinion, and that's why I think the political system in the United Kingdom is in danger of collapsing. Reform UK offers another path, and that's why I'm tentatively still supporting them, because at the moment they are, or appear to be, the best chance of getting our country back to where it needs to be, or at least going in the right direction to begin with. There is always room for improvement, and there is always ways that they can do better. I've been heavily critical of the leadership, and Nigel Farage, he's not really the leader I would want at this particular time. We're stuck with him, and he's the leader that is leading reform at the moment. I'm not entirely convinced he's the best person for the job. I'm going to play these two clips now, and it's about the subject of stunt slaughter in the United Kingdom of animals and halal and kosher. I'm going to play two clips, and then I'll tell you what I think.
Non-stunned meat such as kosher and halal.
I don't like it.
Should it be banned?
I don't like it.
Should we only do it the traditional fashion in this country?
Do you know what, Nick? I think we've got to a point where the size of these communities is such that it's really quite difficult to do.
Right, I'm going to stop right there. The allowing by law of kosher and halal slaughter in the United Kingdom, contrary to popular belief, was actually introduced under the national government during the Great Depression in the 1930s. But it was a Labour Prime Minister at the time, but it was a national government. Alright? The populations of both Muslim and Jews in the United Kingdom at that point were minuscule. We're talking fractions of a percent. If you get rid of the pull factor for certain demographics, like halal slaughter, you don't even need a policy of mass deportations because they'll self-deport. So while he's saying there's too big of a population to actually do it effectively, that's not true. That's waffle. That's spin. That's dodging the question. That and this is not a good answer. But continue, Nigel.
Could ban it, but we would, if we were to ban it, we would bring this to the centre of national political debate for a very considerable period of time.
Not true again. Whack it through the Commons. One day, you've got a huge majority. Do what they did with the allowing of abortion up to birth. Sneak it through in 30 minutes. Or what about the unliving of some people at the end of their life, where they put the assisted dying, legislation through? Whack it through. It's not going to take years. It's going to take hours. Labour have been doing it all parliaments. All right.
With strong opinions on both sides, and that's fine.
Right, I have got a strong opinion on it. It shouldn't be allowed in the United Kingdom. That's my position on the matter. It should be banned. It should be removed. It's not part of our culture. It's not treating the animal humanely. If you're going to end its life, do it quickly, and it should be painless.
But I'm going to argue we've got more important, more urgent priorities.
Right, I'll give them that. There are bigger fish to fry. I'll give them that points on the argument. I can concede that there are bigger things to be worried about. However, as I've said, you can whack it through in a day. No debate necessary, alright? How much debate was in the Parliament in the 1930s when it got whacked through? Remember cameras and actual press coverage of what happened in the Commons? That didn't come until much later in the 20th century. I don't think they allowed cameras in the Commons until the 1990s, alright? So we were really, really in the dark. So I'm not really buying that argument completely from Nigel. That's a very, very weak answer. And this is the point I'm making. He is showing himself to be weak. Having said that, Reform UK is still my party. I'm still a voter for Reform UK because there's nothing else on the table. And my MP is giving me the voice that I've not had. So, call it an upside. Glass half full. Whatever you want to call it, Reform are better than the opposition, either Labour or Tories. And then we look at another person's view on non-stun slaughter.
We should ban non-stun slaughter, we should ban halal slaughter, and we should ban kosher slaughter. We should ban non-stun slaughter, we should ban halal slaughter, and we should ban kosher slaughter.
Right, you get the point. Quick, spare, to the point, on the money. Nothing to critique or argue with there. And he's now heading Restore Britain. Rupert Lowe, former Reform MP. This is the point I wanted to make, and I wanted to be more articulate with it. He is now a pressure organisation with good people, building team, shaping policy, creating the conversation and the debate. All of this is positive. We should be having large debates about what cultures we are importing, why are we importing them, do we want them in the country? My argument would be no, we don't, because it breaks down social cohesion, and the demographic shift in the United Kingdom is the greatest and most pressing concern that all of us should have. So yeah, this is all positive, which is the point I'm making, and I'll move on to Advance UK in a moment. Reform UK is the best option currently to unseat the Uni Party. Getting Labour and Tories out of as many councils and MP seats all over the country is the way forward. Alright? Restore Britain is there to keep Reform UK honest. And if they don't bite and they don't adopt the policies that Restore Britain is formulating from their members and from the mood of the country in general, and holding Reform UK's feet to the fire to make sure they deliver and actually deliver on the aspirations of their grassroots, that's where Advance UK comes in, which is Ben Habib's vehicle. Alright? A lot of people are saying Reform is a loser. They're not going to do anything that they want. And that could be true. Okay? They've not been in power yet. We don't know what they're going to do. Many people in the country, myself included, are taking it on blind faith. God, I do live on faith sometimes. That they are going to be better than the Uni Party. And if they do not take on the policies and the actual aspirations of their grassroots, there is now a receptacle in the shape of Advance UK. that will pick up their vote share. And that's the most important thing about the unseating of the Labour and Tory MPs in safe seats. There's a very big psychological barrier there where many people don't vote because they think, what's the point? I'm not going to get the MP or the representation that I want. If you break that psychological link between not getting what they want by unseating all of these MPs, even if Reform UK turn out to be really, really just the same as the other two, it creates the window and it creates the idea that you can get something different. You can get something better. And that's what we're all here for. We're all here because we want the best for our country and we want it to be the great country it once was. I'm not pessimistic about my country. On the contrary, I am so optimistic about my country because of the people that visit my channel and other channels like mine. I couldn't be prouder, I couldn't be happier that the nation seems to be reawakening and finding that bulldog spirit. And that makes me proud, that makes me happy, that makes me really, really optimistic. So don't poo-poo Reform too much. Let's see what's going to happen in the next few years. Remember, Advance UK are there now and they're going to be the receptacle, and Restore Britain are going to be the battering ram to keep Reform UK honest. These are just my thoughts. You have a good afternoon. Like and subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next video. You have a good evening and thank you for your time.